Hi everyone, it's MJ from my paper journey. Welcome and thank you for those that stop by and visit my channel. I appreciate each and one of you. Well, I'm gonna say hi to my sister Frankie and to my beautiful nephew and niece Alejandro and Elena. Hi Pops, hi Mamas, and Jenny and Aileen. Hi girls. And also want to say to my sister-in-law, Lourdes and Yolanda, and the other Yolanda. Anyways, because they stop by and watch my videos sometimes, so I told them that once in a while, give them a shout out and say hi to them. And so I'm gonna be kind of quick today because it was my husband's birthday yesterday, and that's the reason why I didn't post a video on Friday. And I'm gonna do a little quick because I really have not planned anything out. I've been having a very busy week, and then today we're going to be getting together at my mother-in-law's celebrate my husband's birthday. He turned 62 yesterday, so yeah. Anyways, in continuation, I just want to show you what I did. I pierced 3 holes on the front cover and on the back cover as well. And I had to use this gadget, which I've shown you guys before, but those that haven't seen it, this is a sample floor tile from Home Depot. It's a vinyl floor. So I've been using this as my base, and so what I did, got my ruler and I measured and figured out, I used a Tim Holtz ruler actually to see the center of the cover, and then I marked it with a little mark of a felt pen, and then once I marked it, all you do is press down. As this turns, it'll pierce through your paper. And the reason why I rather use this is because if you have a hole puncher, it's not deep enough, or not deep, but wide enough of a gap for anything that's, you know, kind of bulky and thick like this is. And then you're only limited to how far in you want to punch. This is fine, you know, like for paper and your tags and stuff. Even the even this does, I guess you can go farther in. I didn't even think about using this. I forgot about it. I guess I'm so used to using this hole puncher. It's more convenient for me. Easier to see where I'm punching and stuff. So, and it also has 2 other. This is the largest size, and I think it's about 6 millimeter hole punch on that. And then there's like a 3 millimeter punch, and then maybe this one, or maybe this is a 2 and this is a 4. And then it just covers up and keeps it safe in there for your extra, but yeah. So I bought this at Amazon. I don't know if they still have it. I've had this for a while, but if I see it, they have it, I'll put a link on the description for those that are interested in this. But I really love this gadget. If I known about this first, I probably went and bought other hole punchers that I have, because I really love this one. The only thing is, like, if you want a bigger hole punch, then yeah, you have to use the other hole punchers that make what is it, a 1/4 of an inch punch for those bigger hole punches. Sorry, I'm losing my voice because I suffer from allergies, and allergy season is really bad. Okay, so that was for that. And I do have some 3 rings that I want to place. These are not very big. These are only about, oops, like 1.25 inches in diameter. I do have bigger ones, but I think they're too big for me to use. I'm just putting these on just for now. And I did buy these rings from Amazon as well a while back. I'm sure they still have them. If I remember and I can find these, because it's been a while, I'll put it on the description as well if you are interested in them, okay? So I'm going to set this aside. I just wanted to show you so far what I did on the cover and on the back cover. Then I was thinking on the closure. I didn't really think about too much on the closure, but I noticed that I was able to pull a little bit back, so I think I can stick I'm debating what to use. This is like a brownish for the closure. I also have this distress sari silk ribbon. I love this distress. Looks like it has a little bit of red thread there. And use this. Maybe going with a little bit darker color from here. Leave me a comment and let me know which one do you think I should use. If I should use the distress sari silk or this lined ribbon. It kind of looks like the simulation of the ticking. Is it ticking fabric? Is that what you call it, ticking fabric? So let me know. Put this away. Now I just ripped the whole page. I mean the whole bag. Okay. So what I've done, I went ahead and when I showed you the papers that I had printed, it had, because my printer prints and leaves like 1/4 inch blank border around, so I went ahead and trimmed it all off. And these are all the pages that I had printed and showed you ahead of time the kit that I wanted to use. And this kit is from Adamo. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is from Adamo, Etsy. And this was the very first kit that I bought from that store. And I'll also put the link down below if you're interested on this kit. And then these are from Body, Mind, and Spirit. Sira's Heka is her YouTube channel here on YouTube. And these I haven't trimmed these off, but I did copy dye them, and I got 3 of them because I was thinking of doing 3 signatures, but now that I think about it, I don't think I'll be able to fit 3 signatures. So I'll probably do 2 signatures, and the extra supply, I'll do an extra journal, and then I'll do a second giveaway. So I think that's what I'll do. And went ahead, coffee dyed some of these graph papers, and I tore around it. Again, I did 3 because I was thinking of 3 signatures. And then this is coffee dye paper that I've already had on my stash from when I do bulk. Oh, here's some more. Bulk coffee dyeing, which I haven't done in a while. So I'm gonna use these, and then I was going through some of my stuff, and I stashed here. I found some paper envelopes that I have created a while back. I think I was just playing around with it, and these may be my prototypes. I don't remember. I think it is like my prototype. But they have plenty of room. I did the accordion closure on the side for extra room. So I might use some of these. And maybe I'll do a video how I made these envelopes. For those that are interested, leave me a comment and I will. And then I found these that I already have pre-printed. And I don't remember what Etsy store I purchased this digital kit. And I haven't cut them out, but because they have flowers and stuff, that'll go perfect with the theme. And this is the lazy way that I do my coffee staining. If you notice, I got some coffee and I got a little paper towel, a thick paper towel. You don't use just a regular thin paper towel. So I wet it with coffee and I just go around it like that. And I do that on the back as well. And then I just, so it's not soaking wet, so this gets to dry up pretty fast. So if you're in a little bind and you don't, short of time, do that, or you don't feel like having to do, well, because I only wanted a coffee that these two, and then these paper here, I did it that way, because it's so much easier, and then you don't have to get your pen and go through all that mess. It's so much easier. And then just lay them out on your table to dry, and they'll dry up in no time. So that's what I did. So I still need to cut these. Get my paper cutter, because I want to cut these off. Set these aside, and then we'll get started on getting some of these paper together. Oh yeah, I want to show you, I found that tag that I said I had finished. Oh, here's some other tags. These I did cut out the other day and coffee dyed them, like I told you how I do that. So we'll get to use some of those. Here is my first tag that I made, decoupaging the dry flower and leaf. And then here's the trim that I said I had used on it. And this I didn't sew around it. I guess I could still sew around it. We'll see. So, and then I also found these stickers here. Oh yeah, I showed it to you, huh? And that because I used a butterfly on the cover. The two butterflies. Oh, here's another butterfly. So maybe we'll use some of these for embellishments, and we'll see. Because like I said, I don't have anything in mind. Oh, my light knocked it down. So I hope you all are having a great weekend so far. It's a Saturday. We had movie night for my husband last night. I was gonna cook something for him, but you know, it's so hot, and then the kitchen gets so hot. So I asked him what he wanted, and he said he wanted birria. And for those that don't know what birria is, it's kind of like a stew soup, because it does have broth. Or you can eat it without the broth, but my husband likes the broth. and it's something that it's cooked for a long time, slow cooked. It's a goat meat, and it's actually very delicious. And then you add cilantro, chopped onion, chopped jalapeno, which my husband does not add to it. He'll add the onions and the cilantro, but never any chili, because he doesn't like anything that's spicy. He's not too much into hot sauce. He'll eat it if it's mild, just for flavor, but if it's too hot, he won't eat salsa where I do. I love spicy food. I also, when I order Chinese food, I also make sure that I get some of that. I order spicy food and then I'll get some of that hot sauce that they have. And yep. Somehow, I don't know. For me, food sometimes doesn't taste good if you don't have salsa on it. If it's not spicy, I don't know. I think my grandfather got us used to us to like chili, hot sauce, or hot spicy food. It was my twin sister Frankie and I, and then my sister Rose. She's only like a year and 4 months younger than I. And so when we were growing up, us three girls, there's one day that my grandfather got us lined up. He put us all in a row, the order that we were born, Frankie, I, and my sister Rose. And then he said, he had a jalapeno pepper in his hand. He goes, if you girls are my granddaughters, you need to take a bite out of this jalapeno. And well, we never had eaten jalapenos. I think at that time I was maybe like 5 years old. And my sister Rose was 4. So we each took a turn and ate jalapeno. And what do you know? Ever since then, we like spicy food. I don't know if, excuse me, my voice. I don't know if any of my sisters remember that, but I do. I remember that day, like if it was yesterday. So, yeah. And then when I told my mother, I never told my mother about this. I told her, I think, many, many years after when we were grown up and married. And my mother said, I can't believe your grandfather did that. If I had known, I would have said something to him and put him in his place and yada, yada, yada. And I go, it's okay, Mom. We love spicy food because of my tata, because that's what we used to call him, tata. Not grandpa or abuelo, it was tata. Just like my grandmother, we called her nana, because that's what she chose for us to call her nana. So I think I'm going to distress the edges of this paper, because you all know I like to use distress ink. I should have done this ahead of time. So I'm going to pause it because I don't want you to watch me distress all these papers. So I'll see you in a minute, or in a second actually. Okay, I'm back, guys. And I had all my papers. I distressed the edge. So trying to make sure I have them all facing the right way. because I don't want to end up with upside down papers. Because I've done that. And I went ahead and dispersed these tags as well. There's 3 of them. I lost one. Okay. Okay. So, decided I want to use this. Originally, I wanted to use this as the cover for a journal, for this journal. And that's when I decided to go with the burlap instead. So I'm gonna get some of these papers. These are bigger, but that's okay. I don't like them all to be the same size. So I think I'll put another one here. Another paper. This. And this. Ink. Maybe another one. So that'd be for one signature. I think I'll use this one for on the second signature. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The same. Cool. I'll save this for the second journal. And this here too. And I know I had another paper. Where is it at? That I wanted to use. Oh, here it is. Now I got a crease there. This is a raw Japanese rice paper. And it measures, I think I measured it earlier, it was 13.5 by 27. So I thought, and so I folded like this. Some of the pages got crushed, but that's okay because it gives a texture. Let me remove this, put it over here. And I found more of these in my stash that I bought at Dollar Tree. So I thought I fold this. And then I'll use my paper cutter. Or maybe I'll use the Tim Holtz. Oh, is it Tim Holtz? No, the plaid. Measure this. 8.5. 8.5 by 5. How wide is this? Oh, then I shall trim some off. Tears off really easy, guys. Cool. This is the first time I use this paper. I've had it forever. When I say forever, maybe several years. Maybe 2 or 3 years. And then I'll trim this off over here. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame. That works. Yeah. Let's save this piece for something. You know how we are crafters. Let me see. I'll put it here. Sticking out a little bit too much. So I guess I'll have to trim some more. Maybe I can use this, stamp something on there, huh? A word or... I think I'll save that. Okay. Forgot where I said I wanted to put it at, but it's okay. I'll put it right here. Okay, much better. Okay, my intentions on the signatures, it's like I've done it before. Okay. Oops. Hope I didn't record earlier what I was. My son stopped by and had a package to deliver. It was one of the presents that I ordered for my husband. Anyways, I have this shipping paper, and I thought I'd use this also for page insert. Maybe I do want this wider so I can fold something in. And these are already kind of perforated, I think. Yeah. Maybe this, I can use this for pockets or something. We'll see. I don't know yet, guys. not too sturdy though. So sorry for the noise. But I think some of you like the rattling sound of paper. Sometimes I like to save these for decoupaging, a word or something, and then just tear off a piece. So I like to see different tones of paper and the browns. Do another one. I'm recording. Okay. So we had another interruption. My honey came in. He just got here. Oops, and I think I hear him coming back, so I'm going to pause. Another interruption, guys. Sorry. Gotta pause it again. My husband wants me to call in his prescription. And it's going to be coming back in a second. So I asked him to fill up my water bottle. Put it on this one. I did. I think I'll put this one in here. And maybe I'll put it in here. That. So, okay. Like I said, I didn't have planned. I have these, and I went ahead and grabbed some laces. But you know, I like this. I was thinking put in a pocket. I like that. And it'll be the signature. So I think I'll do that. Here's my fabric tack. Hold this down a bit till it tacks down. I hear my husband, so I'm gonna pause it again. Okay, back again. Hopefully that'll be the last interruption. I forgot to lock the door. I usually lock it, and so when they try to open it, they know it's locked, and they know that I'm videotaping. Nope. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. This is too pretty for me to cover up with any tags. Nope. I made this paper flower a while back. I was playing around. I think I sent a picture of it to my sister. Just solved my this. I didn't plan on doing this, but I saw my acrylic paint. Just a little bit, just to jazz it up a bit. I don't know if you can see it. Just a little bit. Sorry about the lighting, guys. My window faces west, and it's still early, so the sun hasn't plus I have a lot of trees in the backyard, so kind of a lot of shade, so I think I'll just leave that like that. What happened to my ink pad? didn't do a very good job here. It's okay. Just leave it like that. This is a Memento ink. It's kind of too green. I think I like this sage. Just wondering. Just to give it some color. Hopefully you guys can see it in my in frame. This is how I work, guys. Sometimes I just start doing stuff I don't plan it. It just happens. So if I'm not saying anything, it's because I'm getting concentrating on what I'm doing. Now this paper's not very thick, so I need to put something at the edge. Oh, I'll use this one here to give it some strength. I'll do that. And I'll use a different one on the other side. What do you think? They're not going to be facing each other. So what are you guys' plans for this weekend? You all still staying home? We are. The only places we go visit would be my daughter and my mother-in-law. And of course when I go to my mom, to my mother's place, that's pretty much it. We stay within the same family and we've all been vaccinated. I love this burlap twine trim. So pretty. Okay, go in there. This goes in there. Put some of this glitter glue on the end. If I can get something out of it. There it goes. Scrunchie it up a little bit. I think I'm going to put some lace down below. I love lace. Trim the excess off. Just scrunchie up a little bit on that lace. And that'll go in here. Like so, because of that. Thinking, I think I'll distress the edge a little bit here. Remember to leave me a comment and like the video and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate that. It doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost anybody, even if you don't visit on a regular basis. I mean, eventually you'll come and watch videos that maybe interest you. I try to watch my subscribers. Sometimes I don't have time to watch every single one of them, but I do visit them and I do comment because it motivates that person to do more, and really it does help us out. It encourages us to do the videos. I know it does for me. And I appreciate you all that do take the time and leave me a comment. Even if it's just a couple of words or something. You leave me a comment. I appreciate that for taking the time. trying to reach the 1,000 subscribers. So this is my giveaway. So each time that that you watch a video and you leave me a comment and give me the thumbs up, please. I guess it's good for YouTube, and like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. Well, each time you do, I enter your name. I'm entering your name into a bucket. So that means the more you watch my videos, you comment and you subscribe, and give me the thumbs up, please. I'll put your name in the